Hi, Melissa. How are you today?
I'm doing okay.
Good. What's going on today?
Well, it's just last couple days I've been hanging out with my dad, and he's just been really, um, kind of hard on me,
Okay.
and it just hurts.
Can you explain a little bit more of how you feel he's being hard on you?
Well, I feel like that he wants me to kind of like be perfect. I feel like if I'm not, if I don't do everything that he wants, he's not gonna like me. And sometimes I feel like he's looking at me and he's like, well, like the other day,
Okay.
I came home and he said, oh, you look like you gained some weight there. And I was just kind of like, okay. And he kind of like distanced himself from me, I feel like, after he said that. And so I was like, is my weight all that matters to you? And it really, it hurt, it made me feel like he doesn't care so much about me personally, but it's like what I do and how I look. And I feel like if I don't please him, he's not going to give me like positive attention.
Okay.
And it scares me.
Okay. So, does it scare you or does it make you angry? Because it sounds like you feel judged by your dad each time you interact with him, each time you see him, or
I do. Yeah, I do feel judged. Like, I don't know, it's kind of mixed emotions because I'm kind of angry about it just because, I wish he wouldn't, but at the same time, I'm like, I get frustrated because I want to please him. He's my dad and I want to have his approval. And I feel like if I don't do the things he wants me to do, I'm not going to get it.
is it easy to talk to him? I know it sounds like it's easy for him to tell you, what, who you are, what you're doing, or what you look like. Is it easy for you to talk to him about how he makes you feel or how his words make you feel?
Not really. He's kind of distant. And I don't know. I just feel like even if I talked to him, that wouldn't be an approved of action necessarily. So I feel like it wouldn't be good either way. I just feel like I have to do things his way or else he won't like me.
Okay. So, what things do you feel you must do his way?
So like how like what I wear. So like if I wear certain things and he doesn't like them, he kind of gives me looks. And then like what I eat. Definitely, if we go out to a restaurant and I don't eat like a salad, I feel like I'm getting judged. And then like definitely my weight. I literally try on 3 or 4 different outfits before I go over to his house because I'm afraid that he's gonna think I've gained weight and he's gonna judge me. Those kinds of things. It's just really annoying.
Yeah. So it's not you actually being afraid that he's going to judge you, it's that he does judge you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, all the time. And I feel like if I don't meet his expectations, then he's not gonna love me.
Okay. Do you feel like that's real? That's honest that he won't love you if you're not a certain way?
Sometimes I do. I feel like, how could he love somebody who's fat? Or to him is ugly. Or he disapproves of. So I feel like in a way it is. Like that he won't love me because I'm not meeting his expectations.
Okay. And how do you feel, Melissa? What are your expectations for yourself? Do you feel you're fat? Do you feel you're ugly? Do you feel all these things that he says that you want?
Not really. I mean, I feel like I could lose a couple pounds, but really, realistically, who couldn't? I don't feel like I'm ugly. I feel like I'm a decently attractive person. I don't think I'm a beauty queen, but I feel like that's just being realistic. So no, I don't feel that way, but I think the way by him saying it, it makes me feel that way. Like it starts to make me believe it.
Okay. So what are some things that you can do um, for yourself, I guess, to build up on your own self-esteem so that his words don't cause so much hurt in you? What are some things you think you can do for yourself in those moments, or even speak up for yourself in those moments with your dad when you are feeling like he's being judgmental towards you?
Well, I don't feel like I can speak up because I think he expects me to be submissive, so I feel like that would just be another expectation that I wouldn't be meeting. And if I'm already not meeting all of these, then one more, it might be the straw that breaks the camel's back, and then he doesn't want to see me anymore.
Okay, I can see that. So if we can't confront him, we can't talk to him about how we feel or how you feel.
Mhm.
What are some positive ways, some positive things you can say to yourself, maybe in your head, while he is judging you, or while you're feeling that he's judging you? What are some positive self-talk you can use while you're in that moment and you're feeling low, you're feeling bad about yourself because of the words he chooses to use with you? What are some things you can say to yourself to make you feel better? Because it doesn't sound that you actually believe these
Right.
things that he says to you, but you do feel them.
Yeah,
So,
it definitely hurts.
Yes. So
Yeah.
I want you to get to the point where when he's hurting your feelings, you don't believe them. So I want you to have some positive self-talk. So can we work on that?
Okay. Can you give me an example?
Okay. So I guess we can role play that a little bit.
Okay.
So I'm Dad.
Okay.
And I will say something. I don't want you to.
Right. It's a role play. I get it.
Yes. Okay.
I'm not.
So, and I want you to say something positive out loud, obviously,
Okay.
but it'll be in your head in that moment with your dad.
Okay.
So, hey, Melissa, I don't like what you're wearing today. You might want to think about going to change that. Change your outfit.
That's her mom's favorite, and she likes them.
I like that. See, you turned it around a little bit. How do you feel about that?
Better.
Yeah, that's better. Okay, let's do another one. You really want to go out wearing that today?
It's comfy.
I like this. See, you're turning it around. You're making it something positive. Yeah, I don't think anything of what you're wearing today is totally bad. But, he might say something weird or mean to you. So I like how you're doing that. Okay, let's do one more. You're going to order that? Are you sure you can eat all that? Are you sure you want to eat all that, Melissa?
Well, that one's a little harder.
Is it harder?
Yeah.
Was that harsh?
No, it wasn't harsh. It's just, it's harder to turn that one around. Like, clothes, I feel like it's a little more detached. So,
Want me to help you?
Sure,
Okay.
yeah.
So, say your dad does say something like that. You've given me an example before that you guys do go out to eat together a lot, and he does judge what you eat.
He does, yes.
So, for example, he would say something like, "You're going to order that. You're going to eat all that. Are you sure?" Something that you can even say out loud is, "Oh, and if I don't finish it, I can take it to go."
Right. I can take it home for later. Yeah.
I can eat it sometime during this week, or tomorrow I have work and I'll have something for lunch.
Right. And who says I have to eat it now?
Exactly. Right. So you can always turn something around, and it doesn't feel confrontational, but you're at least giving yourself a little bit of a boost in your self-esteem, and you're not letting his words affect you. Because even if you could eat it all, I don't think that's bad, right? I'm pretty sure
a real meal is not a problem. Okay.
Exactly. But you will have, a choice in that matter. You can actually sit there and eat it, or you can ask for it to be boxed up and you can have it for lunch later.
Well, and a lot of the times that's what happens is it ends up being 2 meals. But I mean, I'm a poor college student. Why not get your money's worth?
Yeah, exactly.
If I can get 2 meals for $8, that sounds like a win.
Good. Okay, so what else? What else do you want to process today? Or what else did you feel comfortable in that situation? Do you feel like you can do that in real life with your dad? Does that still feel too confrontational? Does that still feel like it's too much to do with him?
I think in my head, yes. I think it'll be easier to do. I think I definitely need to work on changing my thought pattern to make it so that I'm more positive. But I think that thinking it, I can maybe do. It's actually saying it to him, I don't know about that.
And as you probably know, thinking something actually, makes you feel that way, and then you actually behave that way. So I think you changing your own thinking patterns will make you feel differently as far as what he's saying to you. You can always turn that around for yourself as a positive, and that's what I want you to learn. I want you to have some thought-stopping techniques or some positive self-talk. I think that will help you a lot, at least at the beginning part of our relationship or our working together. You can learn some positive ways to talk to yourself. So when he does come at you judgmental and hurtful that way, you have something nice to say to yourself. If it has nothing to say about you, that's really positive or nice, right?
Yeah, that'll be good.
Yeah. So do you want to practice some more, or do you want to?
Let's try something else. So I have another problem. So like obviously that he, his approval is an issue. But I think that it's, I don't know. I just feel like even if I can say those things, it still won't help me win his love.
Okay. So let's see. So even though you would be talking positively to yourself, you feel like that won't help you or your relationship with him, or
yeah. So like I feel like if I'm not meeting these expectations,
right.
So he's not gonna care about me and he's not gonna want me around. And I mean, even though I will feel better about the way he's talking to me, I won't actually be able to get him to care more about me if I'm still not meeting these expectations. Does that make sense?
Yes. I'm thinking I'm following you or understanding what you're saying. So even though you're around him and you're thinking positively or turning something negative into something positive for yourself, you still feel you won't ever meet what he wants for you.
Right, and then that in turn will make him not want me.
Right. So what other expectations do they have for you besides the weight or the gaining of weight or the clothing you choose to wear or the food you decide to eat? What expectations do you feel like you don't meet?
Probably like how often I come around.
Okay. So tell me a little bit more about that.
So like, I know he wants me to be around sometimes, and I can't because of other obligations. And I feel like when I go a distance between being there, like a couple weeks or something, I feel like he's almost mad about it.
Okay.
But then at the same time, when I'm there, I don't feel like he wants me there. And so I get this really mixed feeling, I'm like, do you want me here? Do you not want me here? I don't know.
That's confusing. That sounds really confusing, and it sounds like he might be upset because you don't come around very often, but I can see how you are busy. You said you're a college student, and you would like to be there, but you do have those obligations, and it sounds like when you do come around, he's pretty rough. He's pretty mean. Yeah. So do you feel like you do a good job of communicating with him as far as, hey, Dad, I'm half school today, or hey, let's get together this weekend after this class, or I hang out with this friend. Do you communicate well with him? How's your communication with him?
I feel like it's good. I feel like I can establish why I can't come, and I feel like too that a lot of the time he doesn't invite me over. Okay. You know what I mean? So it's like, do I just come over? So unless he says something, I'm like, do I just call and be like, hey, you want to hang? Or, kind of a thing. And obviously I don't like sometimes I don't like being there because of how he treats me. And I'm worried that I won't meet his expectations every time,
Yeah, that's tough, huh? Yeah. How long have you been feeling this way, that you feel that you can't meet his expectations? Has this been your whole life, or is this just recent because you've been so busy at school?
I feel like it's been pretty much since high school. It started with like the grades and stuff. If I came home with a B, he wouldn't be very pleased. And he would kind of give me like a disappointment face. And now that I'm in college and I'm, close but not living with them, I feel like it's just the same. And I feel like now that I'm an adult, he expects different things of me. So like he expects me to, like I said, dress a certain way and things that I don't really feel is appropriate yet. I mean, I don't see anything wrong with being dressed down when I'm not at work. So I guess that's part of it.
Okay, so you're talking about dressed down as in like comfortable clothing.
Yeah.
And he expects you to be dressed
more like an adult.
Okay, but it seems like he doesn't recognize you as an adult, because it seems like he's still trying to put you in that child-like person, I guess, that he wants to control and manipulate. Is that how you're feeling? Or
I didn't really think about it that way, but I think that makes sense.
Okay, I'm just only asking questions because I want to understand.
Right, no, but that does make sense that he's kind of treating me more like a kid.
Yeah. Yeah, so it feels like he, as a parent, has this feeling of a little bit of a loss of control with his child. I mean, I think all parents go through that. You know,
Right.
their children grow up and they feel like, oh, I've lost them. So it sounds like he's not very good at communicating with you. It sounds like you're trying, and I feel like you're doing the best you can as far as him, and he's got to try a little bit harder. But, and like I know that you've told me that it's hard for you to communicate. For him, let me rewind.
Okay.
It's hard for you to communicate these things to him because of the way he might react to
Yes.
you.
Yes.
Right?
I'm always afraid of upsetting him.
Yeah. So it sounds like you're constantly walking around on eggshells with him.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, and this is pretty a tough one. What have you done in the past, or have you done anything in the past to try to tell him or talk to him about how you feel?
I haven't really addressed it too much because when I tried to address it in high school, like all we did was fight.
Okay.
So like it would escalate really quickly and it just would end badly.
Okay.
And it would just end up with us yelling at each other and nobody really got anywhere. And I just ended up crying. And so it didn't really help. And so that's kind of why I think like he has this expectation now that I don't confront him in any way, because of that history. And so I haven't really talked to him about it because I'm afraid of another blow up.
Do you have a person in his home or even your home that can possibly be a mediator between both of you, like mom?
Not helpful.
Not helpful. Makes things worse.
Yeah. Kind of is in the clouds as far as what goes on.
Because I'm trying to think of a good way or a positive way for you to interact with him, maybe outside of his home, but it sounds like even then he is
Still
very
harsh.
judgmental to you. So I want to build you up. I feel like that's important. I mean, I know that he hurts your feelings and he has all these expectations that you want to, you do want to meet.
I do, yeah.
Meet,
I
right?
feel like if I don't meet him, he won't love me.
Yeah, and I don't want you to feel that way. And I'm sure he doesn't want you to feel that way either. Maybe he doesn't mean it, but his way of communicating that is just terrible. So I feel like if you're not ready to get to that point where you can have a conversation with him or talk to him about what he's making you feel, I feel like you need to build yourself up. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I feel like we need to continue with our self-esteem building for you and positive self-talk, get you to that point where you're confident enough to be able to talk to him and back off when you feel like it's going to escalate.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah. So I think that will work best for now. And then we'll get to the point where you feel confident in yourself.
Right.
And maybe learn some some positive confrontational skills to talk to him. And when he does get escalated, you give, a pause or you give yourself a timeout.
Okay.
Then come back and regroup. I feel like that's important. I think that'll be important with his type of personality or how he treats you.
I think that sounds good. Yeah. Start small. Yeah. Because then like we said, I'm not ready to talk to him yet, but maybe as we go through this, maybe I can get to that point.
Yeah. I think you'll get there pretty quickly. I mean, it sounds like you have some positive thoughts of yourself, and you don't really believe what he says about you or sees in you. So I think that's going to be easy for you, but I think that's an important step before we get to the confronting of how he makes you feel. But what do you think that'll look like for you?
Confronting him?
No, just you building up on you. What do you think that will look like for you? No, we're not talking about confronting him yet.
Oh my gosh.
I don't think that'll be any helpful right now.
Okay.
So what do you feel like you need to build up on yourself as far as what we've talked about, the positive self-talk, the thought stopping, the building of yourself?
I think the role play helped. I think that helps. Yeah. And just maybe practicing some of that, trying to learn how to change things into a positive. I think would be good.
Yeah. So we can practice that here. Obviously, I would love for us to learn that together, for me to teach you that. And how are you about going home and doing some homework. As far as practicing what we do here.
Practicing, yeah. I'm willing to practice, yeah.
At home without me.
Right, yeah, but
okay.
but like when you say homework, first thing I think of is like writing, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm in college, I can't handle this.
No. Oh yes, I'm sure. No, and that's not. I don't know if I'm very good at like saying, here's your piece of homework, take this and go home with it.
Right. Yeah.
No, I want you to
like
practice.
Practice is different. Yeah.
Yes. And how do you feel about practicing even around him, even though he's not gonna know?
Right.
How do you feel about that?
I think I can maybe. I could try it, but I just don't know. Obviously I don't see him every week, so it'll just depend on when I see him and stuff too.
Okay. So let's talk about homework then. For this next week when I see you again, what do you want this assignment, this homework, this practice to look like for this next week? And I would like you to practice it at least twice this next week, and you can choose what you want to build on for yourself.
Okay.
But I would like for us to have a conversation about it.
Okay. Maybe finding like a way to maybe like when I get feedback from a teacher, to turn it into something positive.
Okay.
Like whether that's on an assignment or maybe like during class.
Okay. And what does that look like then? A teacher criticizes something.
Yeah.
How are you going to turn that into a positive for you?
So
a learning experience.
Yeah. So like if I get my paper back and she says that I need to work on this and this, or this doesn't make sense here, I can look at it and be like, but that's okay because it's a rough draft. So like I can turn it that way.
That's good.
That's
work? Really good. Yeah.
Okay.
That's perfect. Okay. Yeah, and just build on that, practice it on every little thing in your life, and I feel like that'll give you a little bit more of a boost in your confidence to be able to even take your dad's criticisms and have it not be so upsetting or hurtful for you, to the point where you can actually at least talk, say your piece,
right,
and deal with whatever he's feeling after that, and maybe that'll teach him a little bit to communicate with you a little bit better. That'd be good. Mm-hmm. Okay. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Okay. So this week you will practice turning something negative or potentially negative into something positive for you, to be a positive learning experience for you. Okay. And it sounds like it's easier if you do it with school.
Yeah, I spend most of my time at school, so I'm thinking that would be the easiest place to do it.
Okay. Yeah. Well, you can start with school then, and then we'll work our way up. And then next week you can tell me how it went. Yeah. How you learned, and then we can work on something new.
Sounds good.
Okay. Well, thank you for coming in.
Thank you.